All right, the number one hack to be more productive, it's to focus on one thing at a day. What does that mean? That means if you, out of your whole entire day, if you only got one thing done, you'd still be proud of yourself. Now you could be saying, but I can do that and more. However, that's not usually the case. What I mean by this is that usually you can do more than one thing, but it's not the full amount of effort or the maximum amount you can get done in a certain area. For example, if you're trying to get better at something, you'll put the whole fucking day into just getting better at this one thing. Like a mixed martial artist might spend the entire day in the gym and they feel good about themselves because they put in all that work. Or if you're like trying to learn video editing, you'd spend all day video editing, or at least like a good solid chunk of time, and you'd be proud of that, and you wouldn't have to do anything else, and you'd know that you'd actually made some real accomplishments throughout the day. Now, if your one thing to do is to make a phone call, I mean, unless you're closing a business deal, I don't think that's the one thing you got to focus on. I'm not saying you can't have more than one thing, especially after it's done. You can have like little side things, but it shouldn't even be written down or focused on at all. It should be like after you're done, oh, I should probably get this done since we have time, like extra. But you should only, even if you didn't get that done, it shouldn't even matter because it's like an extra thing. What you should be doing is focusing on just doing one thing that you know will get you the best amount of leverage moving forward. Whether it's completing like all your schoolwork and such, if that's the route you're going, or uh, learning something or anything like that, or implementing something. Uh, but one thing should be your absolute focus each day. Uh, is like a strategy that I use is the first 4 hours of the day is focused on one thing. Because after that, your mind just needs a break. Maybe you can do it at night or something else or other things. But if you put in the first few hours towards one thing, you'll be so much more productive because you'll be consistently doing the one thing you should be doing, and that's the only thing that you're judging yourself on. So at the same time, you put in more pressure on yourself. However, you're lowering the bar a little bit because you just expect one thing out of it. So it's very simple. I mean, it's still hard, but it's simple. So you know what you got to do. There's really no excuses. And if you're having trouble figuring out what your one thing is, shout out to the book, The One Thing. Um, what's the one thing in the book? There's a quote that says, "What's the one thing that will grant you the most amount of leverage moving forward?" So I preach about like money and stuff like that because it does take a genius to figure out the more money you have, the better life's gonna be. More opportunities you're gonna have. But yeah, you should focus on one thing a day. Break it down what your biggest goal is that you need to focus on, however you do it. And if you guys need more detail, comment on the bottom, and I might make a video about that. But focus on one thing, prioritize one thing that you know will get you the biggest return, and get your ass to work. All right, that's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. You'll hear from me soon.